Hey, welcome to Graphic Policy Television GPTV. I'm Brett. It's Wednesday, which means it's a brand new comic book day. New comics are hitting the shelves all across the world, digitally, physically. It's like the best day of the week. Marvel's hooked us up with one of their trades. This is Phoenix Resurrection, the return of Jean Grey, collecting all 5 issues by Matthew Rosenberg, Leinil, Francis Yu, Carlos Pacheco, Joe Bennett, Ramon, Rosanas, Gerry, Alanguilan, Rafael, Fonteriz, Lorenzo, Ruggiero, Belardino, Brabo, and Rachelle Rosenberg. If I butchered anyone's name, I apologize. I'm really bad with names. So basically, I mean, it's right there in the title, The Return of Jean Grey. Like, this isn't rocket science on this as to where this is going, but where's Jean Grey, what's happened to her, how she gets back, like, that's the gist of the story. Of course, it involves the Phoenix. Again, not really too shocking based off of the cover. Especially it says Phoenix Resurrection. Not all that shocking. And the story's, it's decent. There's some stuff that's really, really great, and then there's stuff that's really kind of bad. Like, I honestly think this entire event could have probably been told in 2 or 3 issues as part of maybe various other comics. As a miniseries itself, it just feels a little dragged out, decompressed a bit too much. There's a lot of issues that felt like there was entire scenes like that you could just intersperse and it would have been the exact same thing, no difference whatsoever. And a lot of it's the team running around checking out these weird phenomenon, and then stories of Jean Grey working in a diner. It's interesting stuff. There's cool concepts that I also think weren't necessarily explored really well. So overall, like, it got the job done, but didn't quite work. However, while I'm not going to quite recommend this at all unless you are a diehard and really want to know how things went, I will go say that the ending, I think, of the story was absolutely fantastic in this one aspect, in that it really explores this dynamic between Jean Grey and the Phoenix Force, which really is an abusive relationship. There is a really interesting interaction between the two that dives in, and I think that really just explores that in a way I can't think of another comic having done before. I wish there was more of that, a little less of the going to a weird location, getting in a fight, staring at each other going, what happened? And then going back and staring at each other going, what happened? So, yeah, I think that's kind of my issues with it. So I can't quite recommend it, again, unless you are a diehard fan of the X-Men and want to know everything. As far as art, I think the art was really solid. That's the one thing I think holds up really, really well. There is some art, it changes in different spots where it's not quite as solid. An example being like there. I don't think that's quite as good as we've seen in other spots. And like, that's an example I don't think it's quite as good as other spots. But it's, yeah, that's kind of what I got. So it's a little inconsistent. I wish there was more of the interesting discussions about the relationship between Jean Grey and the Phoenix versus all of the weird running around to deal with ghosts. As far as extras, we've got variants. We've got a whole bunch of variants, covers, stuff like that. In the back, we've got a bunch of variants, covers, stuff like that. So it's one I can't quite recommend. Matthew, don't hit me when I see you. Not that you would, kind of joking. But yeah, it's like there's some really good stuff, just something doesn't quite click for me. As I said, not all can be winners. So you can get this for $17.99 now in comic book shops. Go support your comic shop first and foremost. Always support your comic shop. It's kind of the bread and butter and lifeblood of the comic industry. Without them, like, we can't function. If you don't know if you have a shop near you, you don't know where a shop's near you, we've got a link beneath this video. You can put in your zip code. It'll tell you if a shop's near you. If there's no shop near you, well, then you can go and use one of our affiliate links. They are also below the video. They're affiliate links, so we do get a small percentage of that, but by doing that, you help support our site. But just watching this video to support our site. Speaking of support, I want to thank Marvel, who hooked us up with this free copy. As always, thank you for the support so much. Without you, well, we won't really be able to cover as much Marvel. And if you are into X-Men, if you're into Marvel, if you're into comics, you can check us out every single day at graphicpolicy.com. We're on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Tumblr, all at Graphic Policy, keeping it nice and consistent. So until next time, keep reading those comics, make my Marvel, and keep it geeky. Hey, thanks for watching the previous video from Graphic Policy Television. Just by watching, you help support our site. Thank you so much. Now, if you're watching these videos, you probably care about geeky things like movies, television, comic books, toys, games, video games, you name it. You can go and subscribe right now to our YouTube channel to stay in touch and catch all the new videos, or check out our website at graphicpolicy.com. There's a nice link on this end of the video. But as always, thank you for watching. Keep on rocking and keep it geeky.